You got nowhere to go. I need you to know I will carry you home, carry you home. Tropical vibes are taking over. Open house, open house. sticks for real. We looking out for the opposition, we don't do this for mass appeal. Don't make me blast it still. I put in work, no Vladimir. They want me to lose, but I can't. Mama shed like 1,000 tears. I can't do that shit to waste. I pull up in Mercedes. Next year you gon' see me pull up in the race. All I do is ball hard. Mama told me, boy, make sure you tie up your legs. Hey, when I was down bad, boy, I got on my knees and I started to pray. Now I'm breaking bread with my young vet wins. You was a part of the gang. No, now we getting paid every single day. Yeah, I was hustling. I could turn an 8 to a 28. Let me show you. 12, they can kiss my ass. Yeah, see them lights, but you know I got the strap. Go right up, now we getting paid every single day. Yeah, I was hustling. I could turn an 8 to a 28.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second day of ASUS ROG Showdown Series Rocket League tournament. A hearty welcome to you all. If you're coming in from Facebook, spam some hearts in the comments. If you're coming in from YouTube, please spam some smiley faces to show your excitement. Well, all that aside, my name is Flader, your caster for the evening, and along with me is Sun on Run. Sun, how are you doing,
Hello,
bro?
Flater. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the ROG Showdown Series final for Rocket League. Today, we will be witnessing these four teams competing for the covert prize pool of 75,000 INR. All of these teams are having amazing players and fought very well yesterday in the group stage. And teams such as Apex and Dark Rift Esports are so far undefeated. What do you think about this, Flater?
Craft Esports, as always, I definitely expected them to show up in this particular tournament. Even in other tournaments, they've always showed up and performed their best in their best potential. And Apex, as we already know, Hargun, it's crazy, Aryan, some of the best players in the country, performing right up to the mark.
The schedule for today consists of Team Apex taking on Team No in the upper semifinals and Dark Rift Esports taking on Sharma Jika team. Whoever wins these semifinals will proceed to the finals, and semifinals are a best of three, while the finals being a best of five.
So these four highly skilled teams will be fighting out to take a slice of that sweet 75,000 rupee prize pool, which is going to be distributed among the first and the second place. Also, during the break, you'll also be seeing some of the amazing products that ROG has for gaming and even some light productive work here and there. So make sure to check those products out. All right. So I think we can start talking about the predictions, right, Krish?
According to me, Flater, considering Apex are undefeated and so is Dark Rift, but they are against very good teams as well. Sharma Jika team are actually consisting of a very good roster, and I'm expecting them to take at least one game against Apex. And on a serious note, like yesterday when I was playing 6 months with some of these players, they were actually very highly motivated to perform extremely well on this big stage because it's a do or die situation for these guys. It's top two for the prizes, and everyone is, looking for the covert prize. So all of these teams will be giving their best today. FJ, Vishal Flair, they're all going to be performing extremely well. We will be probably the Dark Rift Esports and the Team No's game will be very far out after. I mean, yesterday Team No actually lost out in the last game 6-1 to Dark Rift Esports. Dark Rift Esports totally annihilated Team No, while Apex and Sharma Jika team, I'm expecting Apex to go through, but Sharma Jika team, you can't underestimate them. They might just get a chance to take one game against Apex. And in the final, we'll be obviously expecting Apex and Dark Rift to go, but I have no clue on which of these teams will actually win the ROG Showdown series.
Definitely, that prediction might just take a lot of calculations, but I would like to point out that this is going to be a best of three. Unlike the best of one yesterday, now the players will have more time to figure out each another's coordinated attacks, to figure out what the opposition is doing, and to figure out the counter attacks. And that is what is really good about the best of three stages. And these guys have have tried their best to get to this stage, and this is where it will matter.
Team No consists of Divo, Frivi, and Joy. Apex consists of Abskrivi, Hargun, and Aryan Neil, while Darkrift Esports consists of Joxe, Zen, and Rushil. Sharmajika team consisting of JK, Vishal Flair, and FJ. All of these players will be battling out for the core prize pool of 25,000 INR today. And our upcoming game, the first semi-final for tonight, is against Team No and Team Apex. Let's get right into it.
Definitely. Now, Dizzo, Frizzy, and I think it is Joy, the third man. They have a lot to take care of in this tournament. They're going to be going up. They're going to be going up against the best team in this tournament, and they'll have to figure out what is their play here.
What do you think about Team No Flater? Do you think that they can take one game or maybe even go through the final of the ROG Showdown series?
These players, if they are performing to their best potential, they have what it takes to give a good fight against Team Apex. But Apex just seemed so well coordinated yesterday that it seemed like impossible to even take a game off them, let alone take a few goals.
That is very true, Flater. And as we say that, the first semi-final of today have started. Team Apex versus Team No.
Definitely game number one of this best of three series. We're 20 seconds in and there's still a lot of midfield play going on, and Frizzy might just be looking to set up a towel touch attack here.
From the very starting of the bat, you can clearly see that Team Apex are playing very fast-paced, while Team No is trying to get back on their feet, getting demos. Everyone is looking for bumps. Just quite a high-level MMR.
Definitely. Now, No does seem to be the back foot in the boost department. They don't have a lot of boost to work with, and that's why Frizzy is going to be taking his sweet time with the ball. Hargun is in the Batmobile. This is a really interesting play. What do you think about this?
Hargun in the Batmobile, he actually, if I remember correctly, he was a Batmobile main, and Hargun has always had the tendency to use flat cars in RL. I mean, he's a Dominus main, and now he's going up for a Batmobile, which is quite interesting to say the least. Maybe he's just interested in, like getting some of the, nutty Batmobile flip resets. And as we say that, Team No takes the first goal of this semi-final. Revive scoring against Team Apex.
And as we can see, Arya from Team Apex has lost his connection. So Team No, if they're going to be taking any kind of advantage in this particular series, rather, it is now score as many goals as you can again in their full coordinated attacks.
Team Apex need to be very well coordinated here. It's 3v2, like you said, Flater, and there can't be a match pause. The game just has to go on. Team
Really
No should use this advantage before Ironiel comes back, but they're unable to. They're unable to break through.
So now they are trying to set up all kinds of coordinated attacks, but Hargun and Abscrazy are holding their ground. They are some of the best players in this country, and they can even play in such a handicapped position.
Team No getting the ball into their corner again, and Apex just trying to push up field. Ironiel is still not back into the game. It's still a 3v2. This is quite astonishing that Team Apex have held off Team No so far.
Definitely, and Apex might just be looking to score a goal here.
Well. Hargun with the Batmobile. In all
really now
honesty,
into
the
the love
Batmobile
ball.
is actually a very good car, except the fact that it actually tends to feels very heavy while aerialing, and it's meant for grounded players. And it kind of makes sense that Hargun is using the Batmobile, considering he is a once player. And
Well,
Hargun himself disconnected.
and seems like everybody is disconnecting right now. I think we might just be looking at a match restart here.
Well, it
Okay, that
seems
is
like all
a
of the
very
players
scuffed
have
opening.
got India'd. I mean, I told Arya to not get the BSNL fiber connection, but he did not listen to me. So now he's regretting it. He should have definitely gone for, like TP Link or something like that. But who am I to say anything?
Well, these players are going to be taking a short break. I think it is very nice of our Showdown series to provide a restart for this game. And what do you think? So far, the first 2 minutes of this game were pretty close. And Team No were able to hold their ground, but we could see the pressure being applied slowly by Team Apex.
Team No did held their ground for like the minute of the game, but as soon as Irony left, Apex also. I mean, it was a 2v3. They could have easily put in one or two goals, but they failed at every turn that they could have done. And Apps Crazy and Hergun just they were so well coordinated that they were pressuring Team No, despite No Man being back, which is quite astonishing considering they were outnumbered. Yet still, they held their ground extremely well. A match will be restarted, but I'm really expecting what I've seen from this 2 minutes of the game for Team Apex to go through the final.
Right. So it is highly unfortunate that we are going to be looking at a restart, but it gives the players some time to think that what more they can do to improve their strategies facing the opposition. And up until that point, son, let's talk about the second semifinals, which are going to be happening right after this best of three series.
Definitely, Frater. We will be having Darkrift Esports against Sharma Jika team, and I'm really expecting Darkrift Esports to just go through. Darkrift Esports score a lot of goals when Rushel and Joxer they have a tendency to just link up together, do some pre-jumps, get high on the ceiling, and then just drop the ball down. They are a very good team. Very well coordinated and overall an outstanding team. Shamajika team, they might be a little, well coordinated attacks between Vishal Flair and FJ. But at the same time, you really have to see the difference between the experience that Jokse and Rushel bring on the table. Even if JK is trying to do something, FJ, and Vishal all need to step up their game today if they are aiming to take even a one game against Darkrift Esports.
Definitely, we did see how much of a one-sided series it was yesterday against of Dark Esports against SJ. Hopefully, they're able to bring some kind of new tactics this time so that they can better counter Darkcraft Esports' phenomenal coordinated attacks.
Very well said, Flater, and we will be expecting for the current semi-final to be restarted anytime soon. I'm really expecting Team Apex to go through and meet Darkrift Esports in the final. But as we said, Team No also are performing very well, so they might just pull off the biggest upset of the tournament.
Definitely. I mean, I did talk to some of the players right before the tournament started, and they said, yeah, we are going to be trying their very best. And this is exactly what they want from what we want from this tournament. The players giving their best, trying to face against a competition that they would assume that they'd lose to, but watching an upset would definitely be a revolutionary moment of their lives.
Definitely, that is very true, Flater. And the players will be joining the lobby very soon, and we will be having the rematch between Team Apex and Team No very soon. For all our viewers, we are in the second day of the ROG Showdown series, and today is the semi-finals and finals. Semi-finals being a best of three, while the finals being a best of five.
All right, and as it turns out, Team No is going to be getting a one goal lead, which seems pretty fair because there was a technical difficulty from Apex's side, and getting that one goal was a lot of work against Crazy and Hargun. So if I were Team No, I would definitely take that one goal.
Definitely. I'm pretty sure that is going to be a really, really close lobby right now, and we'll be hoping it that we will be, like Team No can actually perform better now that they have a 1-goal lead over the technical difficulty. And let's just see how it goes up.
Definitely, we are going to be finding out. No having a 1-goal lead against Team Apex, and this time in the semi-finals in this best-of-3 series, we will decide who's going to be moving on to the finals for facing against probably either going to be Dark Rift Esports or Sharma Ji for the 50,000 rupee first place and the 25k second place, which is still pretty good money if you think about it.
Definitely, Flater. I mean, Rocket League in India is on a total rise, and a lot of investors and fundings are coming in for the tournaments here, ROG, and a lot of other orgs as well. So, this corporate prize pool, I mean, all of these teams are battling out and giving their total best to perform. And as we say that, the match has been restarted between Team Apex and Team No.
And I would expect Team Apex to be giving No a 1-goal lead as expected when the first second No having the technical 1-goal lead against Team Apex.
Team No with too much of confidence pushing upfield. Revive almost scores another one. Team Apex are looking a little panicky over the defensive situation here. RN, Neil and Napscrazy not able to work out some of the plans by Team No here. Revive obviously one of the best players of the country.
Arun with a really good clear there on the corner. However, Dizzo is going to be stopping him right there. It's crazy. Touches the ball as perfectly as possible. Almost getting a touch over to Hargun. Now Arya needs to beat Dizzo to the ball. Fails to do so.
You clearly see that Team Apex are unable to dominate the midfield so far, while Team No are trying their best to get on the midfield, to just get on the ball. They are indeed looking for a lot of bumps, and we will be seeing a lot of demolitions and some, like high aerial plays today, Plater.
Definitely, look at Hargun go. He might just be able to beat Frizzy here. Frizzy, never mind, as fast as ever is able to beat Hargun to the ball, and that is going to open up some space for Team No to maybe score another one in.
Arya almost scores that goal, but Team Apex are fairly equally balanced with Team No. Team No might just pull off the biggest upset of the tournament if they take the series itself. Just one game, and they are in a 1-0 lead.
Oh my god. Look at that shot attempt by Crazy. He still might just be able to put that one in. Never mind.
Crazy trying for passing it down to his teammates. There's no one at the center. Team Apex are looking panicked, and Arya saves it on the goal line. Crazy had a shot, but he misses an open net.
Looking to pass the ball over to Arya getting a really good touch over to Crazy. Crazy needs a good touch here. He now probably needs to save the shot as well. Hargun there to save the day, send it towards his corner. Is going to be getting this boost and probably going to be clearing this ball with him. Oh my god.
Team No are on an absolute rout. They are not showing Apex any mercy. They are not afraid of who they are facing against. They are in a 2-goal lead. I thought I'll never say this, but Team No are leading against Team Apex 2-0 in the first game of this best-of-3 semi-final.
Straight center shots towards the goal line, and Dizzo secures the second goal in the series. Now with only half the game gone, Team Apex has a lot of work to do, and Crazy might just be starting it right here. However, that shot is too slow. Crazy, you can't do that. Frizzy is going to be saving that any day of the week.
The domination of the midfield, the Apex are trying to just get the ball in control. They are trying to dominate the game so far. But totally, if you see later, the domination is done by Team No. Team Apex definitely have more shots on target, but it's Team No that is actually outperforming Team Apex.
Definitely does seem to be the case. Crazy is trying his very best to score any kind of shot on target, but the defense coming in from Team No so far has been phenomenal, and they are continuously being able to transition these attacks into counters.
Just 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. Team Apex needs to score 2 goals for it to be an overtime. They will still have 2 more games to equalize this, but it seems unlikely considering the way Team No are playing. They are just on a route today.
Definitely does seem to be the case now. Arya is in possession of the ball, sends it over to Hargun. However, Dizzo with an extremely good intercept. How F's crazy right there to send the ball down center. Hargun, however, feels the risk, doesn't go for the ball, and eventually dies to revise.
Still 1 minute to go. Team No are in a 2-0 lead. They are getting under pressure by Team Apex, and Apex might just slot the ball into their goal, but they are unable to. Team No are just so coordinated in their defensive lines, with midfielders dominating. All of these players are without boost, and there are no boost pads on the field. Team Apex have all the boosts.
They are trying to constantly apply and increase the pressure little by little, and this might just be it for Hargun, but Dizzo. But then again, a really good save. Somebody stop this man. He is like the MS Dhoni, if I do say myself, for the goal line. What a defense by this man.
Apps Crazy with a flip reset pass, and Apps Crazy will score after a pass down by Aryan Neil. That was a very well coordinated goal.
Defense finally broken down for Team No. However, it might be a little too late rather for Team Apex, because they now need to score one more goal in the next 17 seconds.
Team Apex almost fakes out the kickoff, and Hargun tries to slot it in, fakes out Privy. This game might be just of Team No until after, if you have other plans. He misses. All they have to do is shove the ball on the ground, and they do so. Team No takes the first game of this best-of-3 semifinals against Team Apex. Later, that was a very intense game, a fairly equally balanced game, don't you think?
What a showing coming in from Team No. Yes, San, I definitely agree. Look at that defense from Dizzo. I cannot stop talking about it. The man stopped every single shot coming in from It's Crazy, coming from Hargun. He was just there. He was a stone wall standing right in front of the goal line.
Indeed, Flater. Frizzy himself tried his very best. Arya Neil was looking a little shaky at some times, but pretty sure that he will recover in the next game. Absolutely tried his absolute best, and that flip reset pass and the pass done by Arya, that was probably the goal of the day so far. I mean, there's only been 3 goals, but still, that was an amazing goal and a very well coordinated team play by the Team Apex.
Definitely so. Now they need to put this up. They need to continue this going into the second game, because they do not want to they do not want to lose into a reverse sweep. They just are one game away rather, in order to get into the prize pool. In order to take even something from the prize pool, they just need to win one more game against Team Apex to do so. And I am just rooting for them, rooting for the underdogs.
Indeed, I'm also rooting for the underdogs, and it's just one game that we will be looking for. They just need one more game, like you said, later, and they can, etch themselves forever in the history of the ASUS ROG Showdown series. And to be honest, taking a game against Abscrazy Aranil Hargun, actually a big feat.
Definitely agree. That is itself in a very big feat for Team No. This is not something that everybody else can pull out every day. Really good showing from Team No.
Indeed, Flater, that is totally well said, and we will be getting back into the game very soon. The second game of this best-of-3 semifinals, with Team No having a 1-0 lead against Team Apex.
Definitely. Now for Team Apex, if they want to improve their play, if they want to have a chance in winning this game, they probably need to show the same performance that they showed yesterday against every single team they beat. And I think we might just be seeing a lot closer game than what we saw right now.
Truly, Flater, this is going to be a very, very interesting matchup between all of these teams here. And on a serious note, I'm just expecting that Team No might just go through. I mean, if they keep this up, surely the momentum they are carrying will be, very much with them. And Team Apex will be definitely trying their best to get back up. You never know that they might just reverse sweep them, have a 10-digit score, but whatever happens, it will be definitely be a very close matchup between these two.
Definitely, if time tries to correct itself, the Apex might just be coming back with a reverse sweep. That is in case if Team No isn't able to hold their ground, but they're looking very strong. They are a fortress in disguise on the field, and they are just looking phenomenally well.
Definitely, Flater. We're just expecting Team No to just take all the games, and in all honesty, it just like relieves the pressure on them as well. That, I mean, they're having a one game lead. They might like figure out a different tactic. That's why we're going to show it up on a little. But at the same time, you have to really admire the mentality of Divo Frivi, that they actually like did so well to take it all under pressure, and their momentum did not stop. They just went all out on Team Apex, which is not a lot of people can do.
So definitely was the all-rounder there in the offense as well as in the defense with the help of Frizzy and the other teammate. Of course, the passing plays were just right on point for Team No.
And we'll be having the scorecard
right.
up for the games now, and we'll be seeing Divo Frivi Revive against RNE Labs, Krivi and Hargun. Divo, the match MVP, 2 goals, 2 saves, and 3 shots. A very versatile performance indeed.
Look at these shots coming in from Team Apex. So many shots, and yet, unlike yesterday, Team No this time being able to save all of these offensive barrages on their goal line and countering them with so beautiful perfection.
Stats just totally explain you how well Team No was able to handle the pressure on overall 10 shots by Team Apex and overall 5 shots by Team No, out of which 2 went through. They were able to handle everything thrown at them by Team Apex, and if they keep this up, they might just be eligible for the 75k prize pool.
Definitely. Look at Dizzo. I mean, highest scoring man in the game with 2 goals, 2 saves, and 3 shots, while Aryanil being the highest scoring in the Team Apex, which is not something that we saw yesterday. Crazy and Hargun were the mostly 2 people that were able to take the MVP. However, that wasn't the case this time. So it just goes to show that Crazy and Hargun need to work on their coordination a lot more. Something that they did work on yesterday.
Definitely, Flater, and we'll be starting with the game now in around 10 seconds, and I'm really expecting Team No and Team Apex to give us this amazing performance like they just did in the first game. Not one-sided at all, and totally overall by each and every player. Just pure tactics and pure pushing. So let's see what happens in the next game.
Definitely, and I wanna ask: do you think we would have seen a similar result if Arya in DC?
I mean, like DRE and like Sharmajika team, all of them have very good players, but I will still take DRE just because of how mechanical they are. Being mechanical in Rocket League actually does give you an advantage. I see people always talking about positioning and all that, but mechanics these days, if you see, there is a lot more freestyle in RLCF than there was previously. Everyone was just positioning and all that. Positioning won't matter if you don't have mechanics. Mechanics is also all about positioning. You need to know when to hit the flip reset if you're not positioned correctly. So that's the thing between the Sharmajika team do have the positioning, but Darkrift Esports have the mechanics as well. So,
right.
I mean, it does make sense that Darkrift Esports are performing at the level they are. Joxer himself, his pre-jump is one of the scariest parts that I've ever seen of the game. And as we say that, we are into the second game of this best of 3 semi-final between Team Apex and Team No.
Now Team Apex does need to work on a lot of things if they're going to be scoring this first goal. Revise, look at that, another good save coming in from him. Can he save that one though? Arya already scoring, trying to at least score an open net. However, that was not in his favor. Hargun trying to attempt the same. Frizzy with an amazing good save, needs to set up a counter-attack now unless they're going to be crumbling under the pressure. The counter-attack has been set up. However, nobody from Team Apex to start another counter-attack. What is going on?
Team Apex are looking very uncoordinated. Probably Arya's having some issues with his internet as well, but it doesn't feel like Team Apex are playing like they are used to, while Team No, on the other hand, are playing extremely well.
Definitely. So no shot going into their net. Every shot being saved right on the goal line and just sends Apex back to square one.
Team Team Apex are getting pressured. Hargun have now changed from the Batmobile to his signature Dominus. What do you think about the Dominus player? Do you think that it's the greatest car to ever grace Rocket League? Because I really think that is true.
I mean, a lot of the mechanical players on the scene have been using Dominus, and Hargun, being one of the most mechanical players in the country, is using the same. But then we can just talk about Joxe. You know, we never see Joxe in the Dominus.
Hargun is actually more of a non-mechanical player, as he himself sometimes puts it. He definitely does know how to dish out some nasty flippery fits and some nasty feeling shots. But at the end of the day, being a one-player, Dominus, according to my opinion, can be used for some nasty flicks, and Hargun actually does flick quite good. Like, his flick has a lot of power inside.
Definitely. Hopefully we see the same. Hopefully we see the same abilities from Hargun in this particular game. However, that hasn't been the case so far. It's almost been half game, and no goals being scored for either of the teams yet.
Just see how much the level of Rocket League in India has improved. All of these guys giving their all out to perform at the highest level. They're just trying their best to get the ball, putting fetch back and forth. They're going for demos, bumps. And Abs Gravy dishes out 2 demos, but Arya misses an open net. Abs Gravy with another demo, but
so
Gravy
awkward.
takes it. Abs Gravy is angry. The man has had enough.
Look at that shot coming in from Abscrazy, going up the ceiling from the heavens, blazing fire the ball, and Abscrazy just flicks it and then double tosses it into the goal line.
They truly call him Abscary, and he just proves it every game that he is indeed Abscary. That right there is the best Indian player.
Definitely so. He has performed exceptionally well in all different tournaments, and he has been performing so now with Apex in a one-goal lead against Team No. We might just be looking at another one here if Arya could manage to go for that. It's a very wise decision not go for that. Both the teammates were in the corner. It did not give any space to Team No for setting up a counter-attack this time. Very wisely played.
Team No are on a 1-goal deficit. Team Apex are leading 1-0. They might just take this game, but Team No, they just need to score 2 goals to proceed to the final of the ROG Showdown series, and that might be true. Divo dishing out some demos, punishing Team Apex.
That could have been a really good shot coming in from Arya. It's so unfortunate that it just hit the crossbar.
Revive dishes down a pass, and Hargun will save. An easy save for Hargun, and Divo will be rotating back.
Look at that. That was crazy. Just flying into the air, getting control of the ball, sending it to his teammates, and once again they are in possession of the ball. Frizzy, however, takes it right back, sending it a top right corner shot. However, Hargun right there to save it is going to be getting over one of them. Second one, right in possession, trying to say center of Crazy, stops him right there. Dizzo is not going to be getting any possession either.
Just 10 seconds left. Team No needs to do something here if they are aiming to go to the final, but Team Apex are having total domination of the midfield and the attack, and that will be Team Apex who will take the win against Team No. Abs Crazy with a fantastic pass to Arya Neal, and Arya Neal will be slotting it home to take victory in the second game of the best of 3 semifinals.
That kind of shot placement coming in from Arya Neal needs hours and hours of training, and I can't believe he pulled that off at such a high level. Hats off to Arya Neal for that amazing shot that we just witnessed.
Team Apex are finally getting back on their feet, and they have done an amazing performance against Team No. Flair, what do you think about the game?
That was absolutely a phenomenal performance coming in from Team Apex. Exactly what we expected at the start of the series. Unfortunately, with the Neal's disconnect, it was, however, delayed. But now we see Team Apex in its true form with Abscrazy carrying throughout the entire game with the mechanics of a god, and Arya with that last shot just made it pretty clear that Team Apex is here to win the biggest slice of the prize pool.
That is definitely true. I really was expecting Team Apex to do a comeback, but Team No also had some very positive moments. Abs Crazy just, demoing everyone on the opponent's net. That was scary to watch. And then he goes for that feeling shot, which is probably the best solo play of the entire tournament so far. 3 demos in a span of 10 seconds, and then 1 feeling shot double tap to finish it off. A truly, truly mesmerizing performance by Abs Crazy.
He just kept pressuring them, taking the ball from one corner to the other one, just waiting for Team No to run out of boost. And then finally he takes it up the wall, gets a really clean shot over the crossbar, taps it in with a double touch, and that right there might just be the goal of the tournament. I'm calling it. That you cannot get better than that. What a shot. It all comes down to the context with how much speed he had already accumulated throughout the play prior to the particular goal.
Definitely, that was indeed a very difficult goal to score, and the way he just brings the card down for the flippery fed onto the backboard for the double tap, that was just the demo setting it up everything, and he just demoed all 3 by himself, which is I've never seen anything like it. Like even in RFCF and APAC F, I haven't seen that much, but Abs Crazy obviously is probably one of the most mechanical and fastest players in the entire continent, so you do expect him to do stuff like this. And the scoreboards are here. You see that Team No again getting pressured, but this time unable to convert anything as they have barely 4 shots on target.
Definitely, I do see that. Look at it's crazy though, with only 1 goal, but just 1 goal says it all. The potential in this man to play, even at the Worlds, is absolutely skyrocketing right now.
A total of 9 shots by Team Apex, while a total of 4 shots by Team No. They need to step up their game. This is a do or die situation for both the teams, Team No and Team Apex. Whoever wins this one will be going to play the ROG Showdown Series final, which will be happening today, and will be eligible for the 75k prize pool later. What do you think about the pressure by these both teams?
I mean, this time Team Apex just played exactly how we expected us, and Team No, I'm not sure they could just do anything there. They did make 3 saves, but with shots and accuracy like that coming in from each of the players from Team Apex, I don't think there's much you can do to stop that.
That is very true, Flater. Team Apex might just be the favorites to go through now, and we'll be expecting them to just take all the games and score some amazing goals into the last game of this first semi-final. And I have to say that they do score an amazing goal.
Look at that. It's crazy. And with another shot right on target, right above there. So Hargun with an amazing pass as well. No credit due, rather, for Hargun.
Right off the bat, Team Apex pressurizing Team No by scoring that 1 goal. It is still 4 minutes left to play, but we all know that at this stage, even 1 goal is enough to keep the team under pressure. And Team Apex has scored 2 in the span of 30 seconds.
Here comes the domination from Team Apex. The speed, the accuracy, the wall, the fortress set up by Team No in the first game has been barraged with a lot of cannon shots, and now it has finally broken down.
Team No are looking very well coordinated so far. Team Apex are just, like on a draw. They just want to demolish everything that comes into their way. They're trampling over Team No like anything.
Just running wild, getting a demo on over to Hargun. That is going to give some space to Team No to set up a counter attack here.
Very well positioning by Arya to predict that the ball might have come back into the net. And that's crazy. Going for an aerial dribble, will be passing it down for a flip reset, misses on the flip reset, and Team No will be doing for a counter attack.
The counter attack has thus begun now, with the Revise is going to be taking possession. Dizzo takes possession and Sid gets a lobbing shot on target. It's not going to be going up again. Hargun, you can't beat Hargun. The man is fast as the Flash.
I agree with that, Flater. Abscrave going for a fake, but instead it's passes down to Hargun instead, and Team Apex lead 3-0 against Team No. That might just be cherry on the cake for Team Apex. The breakthrough they finally needed, and that might just be game. And I'm saying this with 3.5 minutes left.
Absolutely dominating performance by Team Apex so far, and they wish to continue this when they go into the finals and absolutely just take the win. Take the win even in the finals, win that best of 5 series and take the biggest piece of the prize pool with them.
At this stage, Team No should be going for a lot of demos, and Hargun and Divo do demo each other, but it's not enough as trade has happened, but Team No are playing very uncoordinated right now. Team Apex, on the other hand, everyone is just challenging high. They have the boost, and Team Apex are just on a total rampage here.
Every single one of these players just taking turns to score absolutely amazing shots on the target, making contenders for goals of the day and goals of the tournament and whatever. He said, no, Abs Crazy cannot always have the goal of the tournament. It's me, Arya, and Hargun probably going to be coming with his own.
Abscrave, we did almost score another goal of the tournament, but that just, with a good save by Privy and Abscrave with just 30 boost, went for a flip reset. The confidence of this man, and Team No will be taking 1 goal against Team Apex. Revive scoring for Team No.
Sort of an uncoordinated play there from Team Apex. They did get a little cocky with all 3 players being in the same corner with no coordination and no boost whatsoever. However, they really have a good, comfortable lead to fall back on, and the game is still in their hands.
You really are getting to see the way Team Apex might just recover. Abscrave going for another flip reset. Miss on the flip reset, passes it down to Arya instead, and Arya will make it 5 for Team Apex. Team No are just not close at Team Apex's level.
Even after the miss coming in from Abs Crazy, there was no counter attack. Instead, it just went down to Arya, and Arya finished the play right there, giving no space to Team No.
Very weird kickoff strat, and it worked out in Team No favor, but Team Apex will be countering it up. Abs Crazy.
Oh, look at that pinch coming in from Team Apex.
Pinch, but it did not work out quite well for Team Apex.
Son, what do you think? Is No gonna even be getting 1 consolation goal here? Because I'm looking at this and I'm just seeing continuously Apex domination from Apex. It's just so speedy that I'm at loss of words. Look at Apex go. Nothing that they're doing is getting across Team No.
Team Apex are just playing so coordinated, and they are not giving Team No a chance to have even the slightest amount of boost. Like everyone from Team Apex are just taking all of the boost that is on the field, so it just feels so hard for Team No to even get something else right now. But they did score the 2nd goal, but it just feels hard for them to come back, considering Team Apex are just so well coordinated.
They are finally gonna be scoring 1 more goal against Team Apex, and with Apex still being in a 3-goal lead, I highly doubt No is gonna be making a comeback right now.
That's very true, Player. Team Apex are having a 3-goal lead, and Team No, they might have a chance to score another 1 here, but Team Apex will be doing their absolute best for Team No, not give them any chances. And Abs Crazy is down on the midfield. They're going for an aerial dribble. And they have a shot saved by Divo.
Crazy up for the ball. That's gonna be trying again for a shot. However, Dizzo is gonna be taking the save.
20 seconds remaining. Team No probably have lost the entire series, and they indeed have Apex with the 6th goal of the game, and they are in a 4-goal lead against Team No. They will be playing the ROG Showdown Series final today.
Definitely saw a really phenomenal performance by Haragon, It's Crazy, and Arya all together. It was a bit of an unbalanced start at the starting of the series, but now they finally found their footing again, and the footing they found strong because look, one after the other, just scoring continuous goals against Team No.
With this, we have a 1-0 second play coming in, but Team Apex have already won, which means that they will be playing the first ever ROG Showdown Series final for Rocket League against the winner between Dark Rift and Sharmajika team.
Definitely
So,
a
Flair,
really
what do
good
you think
attempt
about the
coming in
game?
from Team No. Yeah, I was saying a really good attempt coming in from Team No, but it's really unfortunate that only the first game was a fluke for them, and now they just couldn't come back. I guess it wouldn't. I guess it wasn't exactly a fluke. Still, they tried their best.
Indeed, Team Apex, they just had the will and did some really amazing passing plays against Team No. Team No were looking scary at some times. Even in the second game, they were looking very scary, considering the second game was just like a 2-1 win for Team Apex. But you need to really give credit where it's due. Abs Crazy, absolutely, and highlighting Team No.
Definitely. I mean, I did not expect even the second game to be that close, actually, because when Apps Crazy, Arya, and they made this comeback. They made this comeback in the second game because I didn't expect them to just continuously dominate performance because it takes some time to get back on track, right? However, they did it. They were able to take the victory against Team No once again. And after winning the second game, it was just easy going for them, with the third game being a really one-sided matchup.
That is very true, Flater. We will be having the scorecards up anytime soon now. We just it just feels amazing, like whenever you see like plays like this, passing plays and down and Apps Crazy just doing the magical stuff in the game. It just feels amazing that you get to know that you have these amazing players in your region that are playing. Team Apex and Team No. Kudos to Team No as well. They did take one game fair and square against Team Apex. It was indeed a disconnect by Arya, but at the same time, they did do extremely well to handle pressure. And they might learn from the defeats that over the past two games, and they will definitely come back stronger.
Going into the series, I definitely did not expect Team No to even take one game off Team Apex because that's just how well they were playing. But I'm just really surprised that they were able to take this one game as well, and I'm really happy for them. It's still a good achievement, as you said earlier. It's really a good feat.
Indeed, and we now have the scorecards up for Team No versus Team Apex. And again, Team Apex dominating the shots, and this time they have 13 shots on target compared to 4 shots again by Team No.
Absolutely dominating performance at this time. Arya Neil taking the sweet slice of the cake again with being the match MVP with 682 points, 4 goals to his name. Although I would say that Ups Crazy did have all most of those shots with 3 assists to his name. So Ups Crazy still the dominant player in terms of mechanical abilities.
Team Apex are playing in the ROG Showdown Series final, and they will be playing the winner between our next semi-final matchup, which will be between Dark Rift Esports and Sharmajika team. Who do you think will take that one, Flater?
I definitely believe Dark Rift Esports is going to be taking the win out of Sharmaji's hands. But as we saw here, it is possible to break the best teams. It is definitely possible. And if Sharmaji team can maybe dominate the competition, who knows? They might be able to do the same.
With Jokfe and Dark Rift, it definitely will be hard, but you just can't take anything away from Vishal and FJ and JK. They will be definitely giving their best to take down Dark Rift Esports in the next semi-final coming up on the ROG Showdown Series.
Yeah, and I think we are going to be taking a very short break here, and we will be back again with the next semi-finals very soon. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, welcome back everybody to the ASUS ROG Showdown series. We are going to be now streaming to the. We're now going to be moving on to the second semifinals, and that is going to be a best of three series between Darkrift Esports and Sharma Jika team. Before we talk about that, I would like to also thank the sponsors ROG, ASUS ROG, and the two products that we'd like to talk about: the Strix Scar 15 and the Zephyrus M16. Both amazing top-end gaming laptops with 30 series graphic card. I think it's a 3080 Ti, 3070 Ti, 150 watt power rating on the GPUs. Really powerful laptops in itself. So please do check them out. All right, moving on. Sun, what do you think about the semifinal?
I really am hoping Dark Rift to just take these games without giving up any games, because Dark Rift esports, knowing their mentality, they just like to get things over with very quickly, and you will be expecting Jokfe, Ven, and Rushil to be at their absolute best today against Sharmajika team. They might not even give them a chance to score, but that is just my opinion, and Dark Rift esports might be taking this entire series home.
Definitely so. Darkrift Esports does look to be the favorite one here. However, Sharma Jika team does have a one advantage, Krish. They went up against Darkrift Esports, and even if they lost pretty badly, they know they have the experience. They know what they were doing wrong, and if this tournament means anything to them, they definitely should have worked on all these preparations, and I think they would be ready.
They definitely are, Flater, and we will be getting into the game very soon to see if all our theories are correct. But at the same time, we would like to inform that uh, Darkrift Esports and Sharmajika team, this will be a BO3 that will be competing. Whoever wins this game will be competing in the finals, which will be a best of 5, and they will be competing against Team Apex, who already beat Team No, and they will be performing against them.
Definitely, it is going to be an exciting series so far. One game to decide it all. One game to decide who are going to be taking the first and second place. The game has begun.
Right from the start, Darkrift Esports are playing super mechanical and super fast.
Oh my god, Zen already there to take the shot on target. However, he is not going to be getting a lot of strength on it. Vishal trying to find its center. Jokse up with the ball. A lot of boost to work with. Sending it over to Zen. Zen has a powerful shot on target, and he is going to be securing the first goal within the 30 seconds.
We all know how well Ven works with Jokse, and Ven's power shots are something to be feared at. Darkrift Esports take the first goal of the series in just 30 seconds.
Definitely now this next kickoff is going to be deciding who's going to have early possession. Jokse takes it right out of the hands of JK, sending it center, maybe trying to look for a teammate to pass it to. SJ, however, is going to be stopping it right there, out of Zen's hands, out of Rushil's hands, and that is possession back to SJ.
Clearly see how FJ and Sharmajika team, Vishal Slayer, all of these guys are just, trying to break through Darkrift's defenses, but they are unable to. Darkrift are just having too much of control over the car and too much control over the ball as well. Possession is indeed Darkrift's, but here Sharmajika team might just be getting on the counter, but it seems quite unlikely. This might be another goal, but Darkrift doesn't go through.
Now SJ is in possession of the ball with 70 boosts to his name. He's going to be trying to find a pass over to JK. However, that's just not going to be the case. And Rushil, I think, Jokse rather, might have cleared the ball there. One another opportunity missed for Darkrift.
Jokse is in the air going for a double tap, and he will get it. Sharmajika team unable to read that, and they concede the second goal of the game.
Definitely, he definitely should have gone up. SJ should definitely have gone up onto the backboard to save this shot. However, he waited, and in front of Jokse, you just can't wait.
Definitely, player. One of the people from Sharmajika team should have been on the backboard as soon as they saw the ball flying towards. They had enough time, but the panic just got to them, and they just sat down thinking that it will not go in. And they do the same mistake again.
Lob shot coming in from Jokse, sending it right down center. Nobody there to save the shot. really uncoordinated performance coming in from Sharma Jiga team so far. So far, it would seem like that they have not prepared well to face against Darkcraft. However, they did only have less than 24 hours to prepare for it, so it is really hard feat to achieve.
These guys get RFEs week in and week out. Darkcraft Esports, they definitely have the performance. Them and Team Apex are the best teams in the region. And they actually have shown that on paper, in game, and all the time. And Sharma Jiga team do score one goal.
Finally, a good coordinated attack from JK over to SJ. Really good passing play from one teammate to another. That is gonna get SJ the first goal. This is exactly how how they should be performing here. Coordinated attacks. That is gonna be what's getting you goals against Darkcraft.
You really see how Darkcraft is performing so well, and Sharma Jiga team are just faltering over in the defensives. They are not able to break through Dark Rift, but they're still trying their absolute best here. Joxer with a very impressive strat there. Rushil passes it down to Zen. He's trying to control the ball, misses it. Joxer passes it down to Zen. Too far for Zen to even process it.
That is a very good bump. Zen might just be looking for a second one here. Doesn't need it. Rushil right on the ball is going to be looking for a direct shot on target. SJ with a really good save. JK with the same save again. And now Sharma Ji team has some space to work with.
You clearly see the speed difference between Darkcraft and Sharma Jiga team. Darkcraft are just so fast, and Sharma Jiga team are taking too much time to read the ball and read the movements of the players. They are thinking a lot. They don't have enough time. They have barely 1 minute 40 seconds left to score 3 goals to go through. And FJ and Vishal just bump each other in their own goal.
Highly risky play coming in from SJ and the team. You definitely do not want to do any of these plays when you're facing such high level players. I'm surprised they got away with it that easily.
You don't expect Joxer to miss shots like that, and Rushil has an empty net, and he will be scoring the 4th goal of today against Sharma Jiga team, and pretty sure Darkcraft has got the win now. What do you think about Sharma Jiga team right now, Peter? What do you think that they're doing wrong?
I think these are a lot of double commits coming in from SJ, and they're just not following proper rotations. If you're going to be playing that aggressive, at least make it worth it, because if you're going to be leaving the net open like that, Darkcraft is going to be securing one goal after the other, and that is a 4-goal lead with only a minute left, and SJ might just not be getting this game.
Darkcraft are winning 5-1 against Sharma Jiga team. 1 minute is left, and Sharma Jiga team need to score 4 goals in the span of 50 seconds to equalize. A hard thing to do, but not impossible. But at the same time, the way they are playing, it does feel a little impossible. And as I say that could have been the 6th goal.
That was in fact a really good flick coming in from Zen, and that, however, is not the best performance from the same person. Zen hitting it right into his own goal's top corner. I wouldn't say it was a good shot. It wasn't a bad shot, however, just in the wrong goal.
Darkcraft have probably won the first game of this BO3 series, and Sharma Jiga team will have some time to recover and think about what to do. Another thing, they need to work up on their strat, and they need to increase the speed of their game. That has been the biggest downfall for them so far. They are playing very uncoordinated, and the speed has been the total difference of this game. Darkcraft are just super fast for Sharma Jiga team.
Definitely so, and with that, we might just be looking at the end of game 1 in this best of 3 series. Darkcraft Esports taking a 3-goal lead against Sharma Jiga team, and they take the first game.
What do you think about the game, Flater?
I have to say, Dr. Esports did show it did exactly what we said they were gonna do. They wiped out Sharmajika team completely off the face of the field, and this is exactly what kind of performance that we were expecting from them.
That is indeed true, Flater. Dr. Jokfe is just a spectacular player, and he proved that today. They were extremely fast, and they outplayed Sharmajika team all the time. There was just like one or two flukes here or there by Dr. Esports, the own goal by Zen. He needs to really work on his defensive, but at the same time, you just see the attack of Dr. They are always unloading on the defense of every team, even in RLCF. They do the exact same thing and win.
Definitely. So this has been the case for Darkraft Esports so far, but these kind of defensive mistakes, the one that Zen made, this is not going to work out when you're facing a much more tougher team like Team Apex. You might want to work on your defense there in order if you're going to be taking even one game off Team Apex.
That is definitely true, Flater. These kind of even tiny mistakes against a team of that level can prove very costly, especially when you're playing such a big final. And we do expect Dark Rift to proceed to the next game. We are indeed expecting for the scoreboard to come up to discuss how much of the shots and pressure have been happening over this game. And at the same time, Flater, I would like to take this moment to tell you that uh, I really think that Dark Rift Esports might have won the tournament.
Really? Are they going to be winning this tournament, son? Are you so sure about that? Team Apex wants to know your location right about now. They want to have a word with you. They'd like to talk about your judgment on this particular finals tournament.
I mean, I really believe that Dark Rift Esports are, like they want to redeem themselves over the performance of their RFC. If it wasn't that great, this split, and they will definitely getting on a comeback train right now by beating Team Apex, and definitely you can't just say that Team Apex might just take it. It's definitely going to be a difficult game. Jokfe, Rushel already are APL national runners-up, and Ven himself has been top 4 in RLCS with Arya, so he definitely knows the game of the opponents. And you see Vishal Slayer in the scoreboard having just 76 points. Sharmajika team really need to step up their game, and Vishal really needs to do something here as he's the most experienced player. You don't expect such a score from such an experienced player in the ROG Showdown series.
Definitely, the performance from Vishal in this particular game leaves a lot to be desired. It feels like he couldn't get the coordination working between JK and SJ, and that is exactly what they are lacking when they're facing Dark Esports. If they can fix that, they might have a better chance going up against Dark and probably being able to take one game against them.
Indeed, Slater, and we'll be proceeding on to the next game anytime soon now. And I'm expecting Dark Rift Esports not to give Sharmajika team any chance. They are so far the still undefeated team in the ROG Showdown series. Team Apex did lose one game to Team No, but Dark Rift Esports might want to keep that streak running, and we will just be hoping them to do the same.
Definitely. So now with the second game is going to be deciding who's going to face Team Apex in the finals, and all the eyes are on Dark Esports players right now, and they want to take this game and decide how they're going to be facing Team Apex. If they want that kind of upset to happen, if they want to win against Team Apex, they definitely need to have a really good game plan.
And as we say that later, the second game for the best of 3 semifinals has started. Dark Rift Esports and Sharmajika team, right off the bat, Sharmajika team are trying to pressure Dark Rift Esports, but we'll be having to see a little how much they have increased the pace so far. Vishal Slayer trying to pressure Dark Rift into a corner, which is not working out. And as soon as I say that, the caster curve will strike to me, and JK will score from a pass down by SJ.
There seems to be a bit of a roster change coming in from Dark Rift Esports with Zen sitting this game out and Mido switching it up with him. What do you think about this switch up?
I really think that the switch up might just work out, but at the same time, it's 4 minutes 30 seconds left. Dark Rift Esports might have enough time for the game to just understand what they are doing wrong, and we are seeing that Mido has come into the play. Substitution by Dark Rift.
And he did just miss on a really crucial goal here. Rushel again with another miss. However, Joxe there to pick up the pieces of this broken attack is going to be securing the first goal for Darkcraft Esports as well as the equalizer.
Darkcraft Esports definitely will not give any chance to Sharmajika team, and they will just be on the trot. They are indeed the fastest team here. Sharmajika team will have to step up their game some more if they are aiming to go through the ROG Showdown Series finals.
Definitely so. Now Rushal looking to be the favorite one here. Sharmajika team can't stop that basic shot on target. That is really unfortunate coming in from SJ. What is that play coming in from JK? He tried his best to get a touch on the ball. However, Rushal with minimalistic effort is able to get the second goal into the opponent's net.
As we discussed earlier, Flater, you like rightfully you said that like any defensive mistake might be a very important part, and Miro might have just come in for Zen for that as well, and his substitution, and he's actually performing quite well. You see the speed difference is now way bigger ever since the arrival of Miro into the game.
Performance of Mido on the offensive front hasn't been the best so far. He did miss out on a couple of goals, but on the defense, however, he has been able to provide these good passes.
Sharmajika team are really trying to do some ball chasing here. This really feels like there are platinum players playing. You don't expect to see this level of competition from such a good team. They're bumping their own players and doing unnecessary chasing of the ball.
Sharmajika team just can't find their footing correctly, and that is coming to bite them back. And Darkcraft Esports with this one goal lead might be looking to make it a second one, with Mido trying to find it center. Rushal right on the ball, missing the worst shot on target. SJ is going to be getting somewhat of a clear now. Vishal on the ball, needs to pass it over to JK, decides to go for a musty flick. I do not know what kind of decision making is that.
A very horrendous decision by Vishal Flair. He could have gone for an aerial dribble, but at the same time he should have gone and done it. He went for a mufti play, going for a good goal, but it doesn't work out in a level like that. You see now Sharmajika team are so uncoordinated that they left an open goal, and Darkcraft Esports have scored the third goal. It is all going wrong for Sharmajika team, and it is all going correct for Darkcraft. They're not even having to think on what to do now.
SJT are looking to be crumbled under this pressure, and the way the game is going, if they can't score one more goal, they are going to be continuing. They're going to be continuing to crumble under the amount of immense pressure provided by Darkcraft so far.
There are lack of calls by Sharmajika team, miscommunications happening, and they're just trying for the ball to just get in. They're having more and more discoordination. It just JK has tripped on the goal line. It's a very risky plays coming in by Sharmajika team. It's astonishing.
With only 1.5 minutes left, Jokse might be securing the third goal. He does secure the third goal lead for his team, and now SJT are not going to be having any chances to make a comeback anytime soon.
And a 4-1 to Darkcraft Esports, and they have 1 minute 30 seconds left.
Performance of SJT so far leaves a lot to be desired. Giving Darkcraft Esports so many unwanted and unnecessary goals. It just is highly unfortunate. Oh man. Son, do you think there is any universe where SJT is going to be taking a lead here? Is going to be making a comeback here? Any universe?
At the start of the game, I did expect them to take at least one game, considering they actually started quite strong. But the speed difference just got caught to them, and they're in so much of pressure, and the position is just... They're losing ball position so quickly. They are just ball chasing. Even Platinums don't ball chase these days. You don't really expect guys like Vishal Flair, who have been into so much of the scene, to being playing so uncoordinately. And Darkrift Esports are just walking over Sharma Ji and his team right now. We should really stick to studies for the foreseeable future.
Oh man, that might just be true for Sharma Liga team. However, we could understand how they're feeling with such high pressure. We can just imagine how much pressure they're feeling against Darkrift Esports right now. A lot of money on the line. It does make sense. However, the nerves are something that you needed to calm down right before this game began, and it is now a little too late for SJT.
Darkrift Esports will be playing their rivals team Apex in the ROG Showdown Series finals, and Darkrift Esports will not let Sharma Ji ka team even get a consolation goal in the end. Rather, they might score themselves, but they don't, and Darkrift Esports will take this victory over Sharma Ji ka team.
Really unfortunate performance coming in from SJT in this particular game and the entire series. Rather, we definitely had high hopes. We definitely just wanted something of an expectation, just one slight hope that they can make a comeback against DRE. Something we saw in our previous semi-finals against Team Apex. However, both the teams in this just performed exactly how we expected, and Darkrift Esports are going to be taking a clean sweep against SJT.
Indeed, Flater, and we are just hoping Darkrift Esports to go on and win the tournament itself now with the way they have been performing. They are the only undefeated team in the tournament so far. They haven't let any team even take a game against them. They are relentless, cruel, and Joxe is just on another level today.
Talking about SJT, once again, I think I was in contact with the team members, and I feel like Vishal Slayer is not the active member of the 3v3 roster that is SJT. JK and Sharmaji themselves have been playing a lot together. However, Vishal Slayer just could not find the perfect coordination he needed in order to get the coordinated 3v3 attacks working. And that is the unfortunate part of this team. They probably wanted to have more practice. However, little time and they couldn't do much with it.
Definitely, Flair. You really expect Sharma Ji ka team to perform way better than what they are actually doing these days. Vishal Flair, he did have some good moments in game 2 here and there, but at the same time, you really, think that what they were doing, the atrocity that we were seeing in the last game, they could have performed better, but they were just bumping themselves. It was like they're playing for Darkrift themselves.
That does seem to be the case now with the scoreboard that is up. We see Joxe and Rushal scoring most of the goals and having the most shots. And we see in SJT, there are two shots each, but there is just no power in those shots, no coordinated attacks. It was just a rolling ball towards Darkrift's net, and that is turned into a counter-attack for Darkrift Esports. As we pointed out yesterday, a rolling ball towards the net is as good as a counter-attack that you need to be ready to save. And Sharma Shiga team couldn't realize that anytime soon.
Indeed, Flair. Darkrift Esports will be playing against Team Apex in the best of 5 final for the ROG Showdown series, and I'm really expecting. I'm actually gonna be rooting for Darkrift and Trigger. I really, I'll be biased towards them a little bit. I know that Team Apex are consisting of all the legends, and it's like former Pineapple Cake and former Taipan Esports / redundant members are going up against each other. But then you get to realize that all of these players know each other so well, and they will be doing their absolute best to win. It would just seem to be.
Definitely. Now, in conclusion, Darkrift Esports taking a 2-0 sweep against Sharma Ji ka team. Sharma Ji ka team with the performance leave a lot to be desired, and they might just be hoping to improve in their coordination and performance in more tournaments to come in the future. However, now Darkrift Esports moving to the finals where they're going to be facing Team Apex, and we are going to be hopping into that one in a matter of minutes. Stay tuned, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the ROG Showdown series. And before we move on to the grand finals, I'd like to once again thank ROG for sponsoring this tournament. The two laptops, ROG Zephyrus M16 and the ROG Strix Scar 15, both the top of the line laptops with 30 series GPUs, QHD panels, and a lot more to offer. Do check them out. Well, son, this is it. The best of 5 grand finals between Team Apex versus Dark Rift Esports.
Indeed, Flater, and we are really expecting an awesome game right now. The final will be a best of five, so the teams have a very good chance of like analyzing their each other's gameplay and just moving forward. Like it's not like a BO3 that you have to just like you lose one game and you come under pressure. A BO5 has the advantages of just knowing everything, and I'm really expecting. Like it to be a close game, but I will still be a little more inclined towards Darkrift to go through. But anything is possible in this final, considering both these teams consist of equal players. Uh, Hargun, Jokfe, Rusha, Labs, Crazy, Arya, Neil, Mido, Van, all of these players are amazing, all of them. And, well, just to see what happens.
Definitely, as you said, it is going to be a best of 5 series. So even if one of the teams start out rough, they can definitely pick it up as the series go on. They have a lot more games to fall back on, even if they take a lead. So I would definitely advise both the teams to start it slow, analyze the other team's gameplay, and then dominate the performance in the next series in the next games to come.
We'll really be taking Apex, and Apex's squad consists of Hargun, Aryan Neil, and Abs Crazy, three of the best players of the country, while Darkrift Esports have Jokfe, Rushil, Zen slash Mido. I'm really expecting Zen to, play one or two games right now alongside Mido, but only time will tell that. Jokfe and Rushil obviously the best players of Darkrift, and it'll fairly be an equal game. What do you think about Team Apex later?
Well, in Team Apex, there is no sub. They have been in the same formation so far in this entire tournament, and I continue to expect the similar performance from them. As per Team Darkrift Esports, they did have a substitute right now. Mido did play in the semi-finals, and in my honest opinion, I feel like Zen should be taken back into the going into the grand finals, because Zen is more accustomed to such high-speed gameplay as compared to Mido. Mido is still a very amazing player. However, I feel like Zen might be able to pick up the pace of his teammates a lot better than Mido.
That is extremely true, Flater. And they'll have to switch up their strategy alongside the way Team Apex plays. There's a big difference of gameplay between Zen and Mido. Mido is extremely fast, and Zen does avoid demos quite often. Mido gets demoed a lot, if I've noticed that. Mido is very prone to demolitions and bumps, but we can actually see who's going to do it. But you do see that both of these teams will be giving they'll be giving their best in the ROG Showdown Series final.
Definitely so, ladies and gentlemen. The best of 5 grand finals ROG Series Showdown Rocket League tournament has begun. And Darkrift Esports might have taken the first goal there, but it was not to be.
You really see how much Darkrift Esports and Apex want to win this. Both teams are playing so fast that it just feels like there's an F1 match going on. Both of these teams are equally balanced with amazing players. All of these players are very accomplished in both Asia and India.
Definitely, a lot of these players have been reputed. They have a really good reputation across the continent, and I expect them in this battle. I expect only the best team to come out on top. No more do-overs, no more luck involved. This best of 5 series is going to be deciding who's going to take the bigger part of the cake. That is the prize pool.
Whenever we are talking about Darkrift, we are always thinking of Jokfe and Rushil just, going upfield and passing it down to each other to score some nutty goals. But then you get to know that they're playing against Team Apex, and Darkrift are undefeated in this tournament. Nobody has been able to take them down even once. They have scored all the goals. They have scored amazing goals. They have won all the games. And Team Apex, on the other hand, they have lost one game, and that's crazy. Just missed an open net.
That is a really rough start coming in from Team Apex. Now, 2 minutes in, neither of the teams have scored any goals. The nerves are kicking in for both of the teams. As we can see, neither of the teams getting what they want. No goals being scored up till now.
Very, very true, Slater. Darkrift or Apex are playing some mind games with each other. There haven't been many bumps and demolitions lately. They're all trying to gain control over the ball and control over the midfield. Every team is fighting for the pressure and the possession here. And both the teams are very having a 50-50 chance of beating each other.
Does seem to be the case for Farhargun now with an excellent save. Is going to be moving on to a counter-attack right now. Stopped completely by Zen. Look at that challenge by Zen. This is exactly how I wanted him back.
It's been 2 minutes and none of these teams have even had a proper shot on the target yet, except of Rushel missing that net and Abscravy missing the open net in the initials, but after that it has just been very dry. Both of these teams are having the balls just in the midfield. They're going to possession. The counter-attacks are quite on the bare minimum. This game feels very interesting. It's like a chess match between Magnus Carlsen and Pragnanda being played against each other.
Definitely no goals being scored by either of the sides. So many minds game being played. A lot of double commits, a lot of mistakes from both the teams as well. And we're just waiting for that one mistake and the other team capitalizing on it. However, that has just not happened yet. And I feel like it just could happen any moment right now. And that was the first mistake. But Joxe there to save Zen's mistake.
It is 1 minute for the game to get over, and there's the score is still 0-0. This will be the first overtime in case it happens that both the teams are having the equal score of 0-0. This is quite an interesting matchup later.
Definitely so. Darkrift Esports does seem to be the one in complete possession right now, and Apex is on the back foot. We can expect Darkrift Esports to continue applying this pressure and might maybe just score a goal. However, that wasn't meant to be the case. That was another wide shot on target, and we are gonna be once again back in the midfield transition.
30 seconds to go. Darkrift have the ball in Apex's corner, but now Apex have taken the ball to Darkrift's corner. Abscravy trying his best for an aerial dribble, but Darkrift are so well coordinated in the defensive lineup that they have saved every shot Apex have thrown at them. 10 seconds to go. The score is still 0-0.
Seems to be a very hyped up game so far. Apex still looking to make that one last counter attack right now, but they need to stop the save first. They do, and we head into game one overtime. This is exactly what we want from this grand final. Such close games. Now Arya in possession of the ball, takes it up high, sends it over to Hargun. Joxe with an amazing save. He's gonna be passing it over to Zen. Zen in complete possession gets demolished by Abscravy.
Abscravy have started the work on the defense. He have started demoing everyone. This is the Abscravy that we know. Joxe will be pushing the ball upfield. He misses the ball, and the ball is now with Apex with Arya. Arya going high upfield and go for a double tap. Apex will take the first game against Darkrift, coming in from Joxe's mistake. Arya and Neil, a fantastic double touch, and Apex win the first game of the grand final against Darkrift in the ROG Showdown series.
What a final shot coming in from Aryan Neil. That double touch from off of Joxe's mistake was a one mistake capitalization that we saw in this entire game so far. Such a close game. I can't believe how this went.
Indeed, Flater, you were extremely right when you said that, whenever one of these teams will make a mistake, the other team will definitely capitalize, and that is exactly what happened. As soon as Darkrift made the mistake, Team Apex just found out the opportunity, the open goal, and Arya just took the ball into the air, pulled it down, and scored. It was amazing.
I mean, I could just imagine what would be going on in Arya's mind. Like, he knows he has the ball, he knows he has the space, and he was able to make it even with so much pressure to his name. He made that shot possible, put it right there where he needed it, where no defender is available, and he secures the first game for Team Apex.
Definitely, later we will be expecting more games from Team Apex and Dr. right now. This was just the first game of the best of 5 final, and there are more than 3-4 games left to play, and we'll be really expecting Dr. to pull up a comeback maybe in the second game after they learn from their defensive mistakes, or they might bring in Mito over Ven. Ven is indeed one of the best players, but Dr. might be having some ace up their sleeves, and they might just take the game against Apex.
And we can expect a big mental shift here, and that would be in favor of Team Apex, because Darkraft Esports losing the first game in overtime can have a really diverse impact on your mental abilities while playing this game. So going into game 2, Team Apex will be carrying all the momentum and the confidence into the game number 2, and they might just be looking to win the same.
We'll be having the scoreboard up coming soon now, and we'll be moving on to the game 2 soon as well. We'll be just expecting Neil to pull off that double touch, and that's crazy as always with the demolitions. He is just outstanding.
Look at that from Aryan Neil, a total of 8 shots and 1 goal, and that 1 goal is what mattered. However, those other 7 shots, as threatening as always, securing so many saves to his name, and Joxe on the other hand did do the same. However, Aryan Neil with the last goal took the cake, and overall a close game so far. All the players performed phenomenally well, but that one mistake coming in from, I believe that was Zen, cost them the first game in this series.
Darkraft Esports will need to do something. They'll need to pull up their socks, and they'll need to evaluate all their mistakes right now in the upcoming games against Team Apex if they aim to take the crown of the ROG Showdown Series champions. And it does seem likely, considering the way they played. Both of these teams played very equally. Each and every mistake will count in this grand final. Whenever one team will make the mistake, the other team will take the chance and they will capitalize.
Crazy did stay silent for most of this game with only 176 points to his name and only 3 shots on target. And Crazy is still a sleeping lion waiting to roar in this particular grand finals.
Going to a really rough start here against Apex. 1-0 in overtime, and we just expect these teams to be scoring a lot of goals, but that is definitely not the case with both of these teams when they're playing on equal grounds. And now the second game has started between Darkraft and Apex in the ROG Showdown Series grand finale.
That pass over to Hargun. Hargun, however, sends it back towards the corner. Is going to be trying it again, sending it over to Arya, trying to set up the pace of the game as soon as the game began, and they have complete possession of the play right now.
The game has been slow for both of the teams. Darkraft and Apex are playing extremely slow with each other. They're trying for the speed to get matched up, but it is just too slow on the read. But the coordination by both of these teams is so good, and Arya Neil will score for Team Apex. Darkraft then doing another mistake, giving the ball away without checking it out. Joxe goes out to the backboard, leaving an open net. Darkraft need to work on their defensive strats a little bit.
Arya being the man of the game so far. Even in the last game, he did score all of the shots possible, and he has been taking the name of the game to himself, with Hargun right here to take another one against Darkraft Esports with an amazing ground pinch shot with the Dominus. As you said, Dominus might just be the perfect card for making shots like these, Sam.
Indeed, Peter, only a Dominus user can tell how good it feels to just play with literally the best car of Rocket League. And Dominus indeed is, used for pinches and flicks, and Hargun uses the Dominus perfectly. I mean, you talk about Hargun, you talk about LCT, Pulse MK, all of these guys are just so good at the Dominus, and it's just spectacular.
Definitely so. Now Arya securing another goal for his team. And like I said, the second game, mental ability of Dark Rift Esports has diminished in the first 90 seconds only, while Apex completely dominating the field.
Team Apex are not giving Dark Rift Esports any chance. They are 3-0 up, and they have scored 3 goals in just 1.5 minutes. Dark Rift needs to do something here for Team Apex to counter them out, but so far that has not been the case. Team Apex are just performing so well.
Oh my god, what a shot by Rushel from one corner to the other. The ball takes its sweet time, but eventually does go in, and Joxy with a good 50 off of Vibes Crazy. Arya, bit of a whiff on the ball there. However, that is going to be working in favor of Dark Rift, and now they secured the first goal in this game.
In the series as well, Dark Rift, that is the first goal they have scored. In Apex total, they have scored 4 goals. They're having a first clean sweep by Apex, and they actually are performing extremely well against Dark Rift. The mental ability, like Frater mentioned, for Dark Rift have disappeared a little bit of what they were against the Sharmajika team and other teams so far, and they are no longer the undefeated team of the tournament. No team has now been undefeated.
Definitely so. Now still Apex having the upper ground with, they still have possession, they have the boost control that they need. All they need is to apply the pressure once again to secure another goal. However, Dark Rift is not going to go down so easily. They are still trying to put threatening shots on target, and Apex, all of the players on the same corner. Zen has an opportunity here. He's going to be flicking it over one of them. It's crazy. Needs to save that shot, and the Alcius player, he secures the clear as well. Look at that man go.
Zen going for an aerial dribble, but he will be countered out by Arya, and Hargun goes up to the air, fakes out, jogs in and takes the ball, and now Zen is in a 1v3, but he will clear the ball away, and Team Apex are now under pressure. Abs crazy with the demo on Rushel.
Dark Rift once again in possession of the ball. Rushel trying to set up counter-attack, but with that clear, Joxe needs to step up again, gets the save, sends it back to Hargun. However, Hargun giving a Christmas gift back to Joxe. I don't understand what was in the mindset for Hargun there. However, Arya will be having possession again. Joxe with an early challenge. That's crazy in possession of the ball. A lot of speed to work with. Is going to be sending it center. 1 touches. 2. Never mind. Misses the second one. Joxe in possession again. Might be securing the second goal of Dark Rift. Never mind. Oh. That is gonna hurt.
A very intense, a very high pressure situation for both of these teams. Both teams are eligible for the 75,000 prize pool, but only one of these teams will be called the ROG Showdown Series champions. And so far, that crown is probably going to belong to Team Apex, consisting of Hargun, Arya, and Abs Crazy, while Dark Rift are trying their best to win it, but so far they're not happening.
Arya with another amazing clean finish with the help of his teammates. Hargun, Abs Crazy, using phenomenal accuracy on the backboard to pass it to each other, and then down to Arya securing the fourth goal rather in the second game.
Apex are now leading 4-1 against Dark Rift, right? So hard to believe that Dark Rift can actually come back from this right now, when they might, have another chance. They do have another chance, but that will be the last chance they get in these ROG Showdown Series Grand Finale, which will be the third game, and Arya almost scores another one. Dark Rift are in a total uncomfortable zone. That's crazy. Look how calmly he just didn't even get intimidated by Van here. Dark Rift have an open goal. Arya might have got it in. He doesn't do it.
I don't know if you notice that Sun Arya did end up saving the shot on Dark Rift's net. He's like, I think we have conquered them enough. I think it's time for us to rest now. We'll do it again in the third game of the series, which we'll be moving on to very shortly, because this game goes to Team Apex, and now Team Apex are looking to finish the series as well as this tournament in a 3-0 clean sweep.
That is very true, Flater, of what you said, that Arya might have just been tired of doing so much that he actually saved Dark Rift's shot. He might have been like, hey, I'll save the goal now. I think we're done here and we'll just move on to the next game. We're not wasting any time. Team Apex are very excited to be winners of the ROG Showdown series, while Dark Rift, their excitement has just diminished. They are looking very uncomfortable, and they're playing quite pressured. And this might be the right time to bring on Mido as sub, but that totally depends on the captain of Dark Rift's call. So we'll have to see how well it goes. What do you think about both these teams later?
So I feel like the sub that you're talking about might be a good way to throw a Team Apex off guard, because that sudden switch is gonna have a completely huge impact on the pace of the game. And with Mido coming in, we might just be seeing some kind of a trump card that we definitely did not see from Dark Rift so far in this particular series. So yeah, I feel like the sub might be a good call here. Let's see how that happens. We will figure that out in the next game.
Definitely. Later, we will be getting up the scorecards very soon. And RNE Labs, Crazy, Hargun, all three of them performing spectacularly. Hargun with some a really good ground pinch with the dominus here, like with the best car of the game. And the overall, the best car ever in Rocket League. And now we have the scoreboard up for Dark Rift Esports versus Team Apex. And you see how well Team Apex, with their shot accuracy, they have a total of 10 shots on target compared to Dark Rift 5. And out of 10 shots, 4 went in.
Definitely a really good performance coming in from It's Crazy as well. So with all the assists to his name, a total of 500 points, and Arya sitting up, running up right behind him with 470 points, a lot of goals to his name, and a lot of shots. The threatening man from Team Apex was Arya Neal in the end.
That's very true, Flater. Aaron Neal with the hat trick in the grand finale, the second game of the grand finale of the ROG Showdown series, and we're just expecting Team Apex to keep up this performance. And Dark Rift, if they keep up their performance, they might just be eliminated in the next game with a clean sweep by Team Apex. That haven't happened so far, but let's see what can happen. Anything can happen. Dark Rift might be able to reverse sweep them, but so far that has not been the case. Their performance has degraded over the past 2 games, and Team Apex might just take the crown as the ROG Showdown Series champions.
Definitely, we can expect Dark Rift Esports to bring out Mido for the third game, and with that they might just be able to take one game against Team Apex, and I think one game would be more than enough against Team Apex, because Team Apex has been looking absolutely dominating with their performance so far.
We're moving up to the next game anytime soon now. Later, which will be the third game of this best of 5 grand finale of the ROG Showdown series. What do you think, Later? Do you think Team Apex can win this and take the crown?
I feel like Team Apex is going to be shutting down the series right here in this third game. They're not going to be waiting on for any longer. They need the money. They are going to be getting it with this 5-minute game. And let's find out if the sub happened. Harkun. Look at that card from Harkun.
I take my words back. Dominus is no longer the best card of the game. I have no clue what that thing is called. But I'm pretty sure that Hargun himself used... I think it was a Roadhog during the APL National Finals. Hargun has this tendency of using the most unpredictable carve during all of like the big tournament finals he plays, and the substitute did not happen for Dark Rift. We have the same squad: Jogse, Rochelle, and Zen.
Dark Rift Esports does seem to be sticking with their current roster, and Zan says, I don't need to go anywhere when I can only score a goal right here against Team Apex.
Dark Rift are pressurizing Apex a lot, and Dark Rift are unloading on Apex. Rochelle with the second goal of this game.
Look at that shot coming in from Rochelle. Almost was a bar down, but still so much more beautiful than any of the shots that we have seen in this grand final so far.
Hargun with an aerial dribble, and he will miss out on the aerial dribble. No one to take the shot. Crazy will be taking the ball up to the ceiling, drops it down halfway through for the buff. Nobody to take it. Dark Rift are pushing forward. They are playing very well coordinated. Now Hargun trying to do something here with the atrocious card design that he has chosen.
now. Darkness Esports in the first minute have taken the 2-goal lead, and they are looking to close out this game in the same manner. If Apex can step it up with goals like that, that was crazy. That shot from crazy might have been very threatening for Darkness. However, it did not go in, and if they continue to make shots like that, maybe Apex has a chance to come back. However, Zen with the third goal in this game, I believe. Never mind, the second goal. Looking absolutely a god tier force against Team Apex right now.
Dark Rift are on the trot for a reverse sweep. They have scored 3 goals in a span of 1.5 minutes. They are looking very composed and very confident now. It's like Joxy has given a big speech to the boys, which made Dark Rift perform at this. Apex are 3 goals down. It might be hard for them to come back. And Joxy will save it for Dark Rift. He probably wants to get fined, but it's not going to happen as even the contract for Gaming Gladiators.
Very unfortunate play coming in from Joxy. Now with Apex still down in a 3-goal deficit, is not looking to make a comeback anytime soon. All the plays are going right into the hands of Dark Rift Esports, where they later converted into threatening counterattacks.
Apex are stabilizing themselves a little, and Dark Rift, on the other hand, they are just unloading their arsenal at Team Apex. What do you think about Dark Rift? Do you think that they can reverse sweep and win the ROG Showdown series?
I'm not sure about reverse sweep. They might be able to take this game here. That is unless Apex might have something up their sleeves that they're not trying to pull out right now. Hargun might go back to his same card. He's like, I've done enough trolling. It's time to take the money home.
Baits out quite well. Ven passes it down, but Joxy is not there to take it. Arya will be going for a briefy here. Almost scores it. Would have been the first briefy flick of the tournament. It just doesn't go through.
Really unfortunate. None of the shots that have been attempted by Team Apex so far have been going in. Apex, it's crazy. Looking a bit dangerous. They are sending it over to Rushel. Rushel almost scored a shot on target.
One and a half minutes to go. Apex, they need to step up their game. They are already in a 2-goal comfortable lead, so they might not even need to win this one. But if they want this to get over quickly, they'll have to score 3 goals to equalize against Dark Rift. But Dark Rift are playing so well right now. They're looking very composed. It's like they took time to understand the game style of Team Apex, and now when they finally did, they are dominating everything on the pitch.
Definitely no pass has been received for Team Apex as well. A lot of uncoordinated attacks trying to be... they did get a little lenient on Dark Rift, and that is exactly why Dark Rift Esports, with the phenomenal coordination in this game so far, have been absolutely dominating the combination. As I say that, Hargun finally secures the first goal for his team.
I am really unsure about the hitbox of that car. Slater, what do you think?
That is a hot dog, man. That is a hot dog of a hitbox.
And Hargun still scores a nasty flick from that. Almost, well, that flick was almost halfway through. It just goes to show how far Hargun is experienced with such cars, and Apex are looking very dangerous at the death. But Dark Rift, they are still in a 2-goal lead. It's very hard for Apex. Rusha with the pre-jump pass. Arya will be slotting it away.
Uh-oh, that is a double commit coming in from Team Apex, and Hargun with a really bad touch. Joxy, however, messing it up for his team. They just have to hold for 20 seconds. They're still up 2 goals, and Crazy is not going to be getting any possession. Rushel taking away the possession, ball chasing the way it is supposed to be done, and Dark Rift looking to take the first game in their favor in this best of 5 grand finals.
This was definitely a hard one for Apex against Dark Rift Esports Flater. Apex, actually, they were expecting to take this one home, but sadly, Dark Rift Esports did a very, very necessary comeback. Zen, right from the starting, putting Apex so much under pressure with the pace, the passing. What do you think, Flater?
Darkcraft Esports, as I said, but right before the start of this grand finals, they took their time, tried to analyze the play, and after 2 games, when all hope seemed lost, even from us casters, they were like, okay, now we make the comeback.
That is true, Flater. We were expecting something else, but like you said, that Rocket League is a game of many probabilities, and something else happened, and it's 2-1 in this grand finale for the ROG Showdown series, with Darkcraft Esports winning 1 game and Team Apex in a comfortable lead of over 1 game, 2-1. Team Apex still needs just one more game to clinch the grand final and crown themselves champions and win the prize pool of over 50,000 INR. I really think that Team Apex have it inside them to win, but the Darkcraft Esports at the same time, they are definitely trying to do their best as well.
They have stepped their game up since the last game, and they were looking pretty dominant. However, well, Apex were on the more on the lenient side, not coordinating as well, just going for solo freestyle plays. We did not see a lot of attacks coming in from F's Crazy as well. It was like he was not even there. So I could expect Apex to just have a chill game there, and now they might just be making a comeback. The next game is gonna be deciding if Darkcraft Esports is gonna be staying in this series or Apex is gonna be closing it out as well as the tournament.
The scorecards will be coming up soon, and we'll be having to talk about the shot accuracy and the assist, the goals that were scored by both of these teams, and then we'll be moving on to the next game, possibly the last game or the second last game of the ROG Showdown series. With Team Apex closes out, they will definitely be crowned champions, while Darkcraft Esports will be finishing as runners-up. But that now seems very equal, considering both these teams are playing on equal terms.
Definitely, the dominant performance from Apex has finally crumbled, with Darkcraft Esports taking the first win against them with a dominating performance from each player. No player from Darkcraft Esports below 300 points, so many saves, so many shots and goals to each of their name. An overall coordinated attack.
Darkcraft Esports did put Team Apex under a lot of pressure. 7 shots by each team, but Darkcraft had better shot accuracy. We have been witnessing this throughout the tournament, that Darkcraft Esports players have all a very equal shot accuracy. Like, all of them are just too nasty. Whenever they just shoot the ball over the net, it just tends to go in.
Definitely. And I mean, I have to say, Joxe this time around looked very comfortable on the defense. As we can see, 4 saves to his name. No shots coming in from Hargun, Abscrazy, and Arenil that he couldn't save, and transitioned that into a counter-attack where Zen took the cake, because just in the first minute scored the first 2 goals, and Rushel with an amazing ceiling shot. Those were like amazing goals. Overall, all goals scored by Darkcraft Esports were pretty dominant.
A very, very amazing performance by Darkcraft indeed. They might have to keep the performance up if they want to stay into the grand finals of this tournament. And Team Apex just need one more game. They will definitely be dishing out, and they might just have had enough. And they will be recovering from the defeat they had earlier, the 3-1 to Darkcraft, and they might just clinch the title. So let's see what happens in the upcoming game between Team Apex and Darkcraft Esports.
Definitely the 4th game of this series right now has begun.
See Darkcraft doing the same things again, just demolishing everyone, and like playing fast right from the beginning, not giving Team Apex any chance. I wonder where was this in the initial 2 games, but so far, and Hargun have changed cars again, and now he is in a
Esper.
I have no clue.
Esper,
what
that is
car
an Esper.
Hargun is using. I've never seen something like that, but that truly is working out in his favor. Maybe the decision of changing cars for Hargun actually did work out, as he put out an amazing pass for Rushel.
Oh my god, look at that.
Crazy, but it did not work out.
That could have been an amazing shot from Arya if he could manage to get that kind of accuracy on his shot every single time. The Apex are going to be looking to close out this game right now.
It really seems so. Player Team Apex are on a troll here. Joxe to go for a flippery fit. No, I don't know why he went for a flippery fit there. He could have just puffed it down. All these players are trying to freestyle here. Van go for a feeling shot, messes up, and ball is in Team Apex's corner. They'll be pushing the ball upfield, but takes too much time. Arya will be passing it down to his former teammate, Jokfe.
That was a really good passing play, but Rushil did not get the speed he needed. He's going to be trying once again, giving some space to his teammates to rotate back. Hargun with threatening shot on target, goes backboard. Zen missing on the backboard. Arya had a chance to score an open net, however misses. And Upscrazy is going to be giving possession back to Darkrift.
Upscrazy and Hargun.
What?
Upscrazy! Hargun does a fantastic pass to Upscrazy. Upscrazy will be scoring in the 4th game of the ROG Showdown Series Grand Finale.
I really thought Jox had boost there. I'm surprised he was not able to save that shot. The ball did turn out to be a lot more faster than I could perceive.
Team Apex are playing extremely well coordinated now. Darkrift are just trying to get the ball upfield so they can go for some touch from anything, and they do find their touch. Rushil will be scoring the first goal of this game for Darkrift Esports. An amazing pass by Jokfe for Rushil with an amazing read.
Really good shot, a really good pass overall. Darkrift Esports is still right in the game with only a 1-goal deficit.
It's still 3 minutes left, and Darkrift and Apex both have a long game to play. 3 goals have already happened in the game, and Darkrift might be getting another one, and the scores are level with Zen scoring on Jokfe's pass. Jokfe has been on a total rush here. 2 assists in 1 minute.
Upscrazy on the defense has not been showing up to his true potential. He has been messing up his 50s, and that is not really good showing from Apex. They need to step up this game if they're going to be closing it out. Otherwise, we're going to game 5 with Darkrift Esports having all the momentum to their name. Joxe looking to score another one for his team. Arya, however, right there to stop that from happening.
Scores are still level. One of these teams are nobody in a comfortable zone. Darkrift and Team Apex, this matchup is definitely a game of chess. Both the teams are playing so equally. Definitely one of these guys will be performing right now, but just not working out for any of them.
Definitely so. Arya missed out on a really open net there. Hargun now is going to be trying again. Beats one of them. Has boost, sending it over to Upscrazy. Upscrazy sends it to the corner. Once again, Rushil is going to be clearing the ball.
Rushil have an open net, but Hargun will save it. Rushil took too much time there. That could have been game over for Team Apex if they came under pressure, but Darkrift are still having an equal score of 2-2 with Team Apex. Upscrazy trying to pass it down, but Ben will take it away. Now to Hargun. Rushil. Back to Arya, back to Jokfe. It is a total carnage happening with both the teams.
So now Darkrift Esports have an open net to work with. Arya, however, is going to be back in time, sending it over to Upscrazy. Upscrazy now needs to show up when it's time. He has a lot of boost to work with, going for a double touch. Zen with an amazingly good save. Arya, can he convert it? No. Zen still right there to make this.
There is just 1 minute left, and 1 minute can decide if Darkrift will stay into this game or will Apex win. This is a very pressure situation for both of these teams. It's going to be a high aerial game. Out of the blue, any of these teams can just score. And Upscrazy might just be the man for the job. He's going for an aerial dribble. Rushil will save it.
Oh, that is a really good pass. Zen has been saving everything that has been coming this way. I really don't want the caster skills to work here. He has been performing so damn well.
Upscrazy with the ball. He doesn't have the boost. Nobody in Team Apex have boost. Darkrift are just taking all the boost on the ground, on the corner. It's just 10 seconds left, and the ball is in Darkrift's corner. Team Apex, Upscrazy. Back to Arya. Back to Hargun. Hargun's not there to take it, and he will miss it out. The game might go into overtime. Ball is still in Apex's corner, and we have the first overtime.
Game number 4, overtime for Darkrift Esports versus Apex. If Apex scores here, they are going to be taking this 50,000 rupee out of the 75,000 prize pool, and they will.
And Team Apex are the ROG Showdown Series champions. Abs Gravy with a fantastic goal right into the 7 seconds of overtime. Scores the third goal of the game, and Team Apex have taken the crown.
What a game, what a series, what a way to close down the tournament. What a showing by Darkrift Esports throughout the entire trial. At the reverse sweep they tried, and they went even to game 4 overtime just to lose by a direct shot on target by F's Crazy. I have to say, F's Crazy closing it out in the most simplistic way possible has to be really poetic.
Indeed, a very anticlimactic ending for Darkrift. They performed extremely well in the second game and the third game. They tried their best to come back, and they almost did, but it wasn't enough. The overtime, the Abs Crazy vision is something that has to be talked about, and if not talked about that often, just go for a high aerial and shoots it down so accurately. No time to recover, and Team Apex take the crown as the ROG Showdown Series champions for Rocket League.
Definitely, it was just a 7-second overtime. I was really expecting this overtime to go out for like at least 1 or 2 minutes before any of the teams because any of the teams were gonna get an opportunity to score. However, that just wasn't the case. Abs Crazy closing it out with an amazing pass from his teammates, and that is just a way it ends. Apex taking a 4-1 game against Team Darkrift Esports.
A very well performance by both of these teams and by all the teams that played in the tournament. Sharmajika team also had some really good performances today. So did Butter Chicken Fly, so did Team No yesterday. And overall, it was an amazing tournament consisting of amazing players all over the country. But the result is like as we expected, Team Apex to go through and win. Abs Crazy, Hargun, and Arya Neil are the ASUS ROG Showdown Series champions.
Definitely. So amazing performance coming in from Team Apex. As expected, they did take the biggest slice of the cake, that is the prize pool. And for a second there, Darkrift Esports did have me worried that they might just be able to set up the biggest upset in this tournament so far with going to game 4 overtime. However, the history books are not in favor of Darkrift Esports, as Apex is going to be taking the final goal in overtime and the series.
You see the scoreboard and you see Team Apex having 11 shots on target, only 3 went through, and Darkrift Esports having 5 shots and 2 of them going through. The final goal by Abs Crazy sealed the deal for Team Apex, and now they have been crowned champions. Darkrift will be having to take the prize pool of 25,000 INR overall, so we'll be having the champions and the runners-up are here.
Really good showing from both the teams. They are going to be taking a good amount of money each, and it is still, I have to say, it was an amazing journey coming here into the grand finals, and it was a really good grand finals. It would have been nice if Apex just finished the game 3-0, but taking one game, losing one game against Darkrift Esports and going to the second game overtime did have us at the edge of our seat. So it was an amazing performance from Darkrift.
No clean sweeps in the grand final. Like as we expect, all of these teams were equally balanced, and finally Team Apex have gone on and won through. Darkrift Esports will be having to perform again, but at the end of the day, both of these players and both of these teams are the best teams and players in the country.
Definitely. Darkrift Esports, I have to say, all the players played extremely well, and even after a 2-game setback, getting the mindset right. You know, if I would be in their shoes, it makes sense. Like, okay, we're still getting money, right? We'll take the second place. No, their mindset was to win. They took the first game. They almost took the second game as well, and that has to be like a really great round of applause for the members of Darkrift Esports.
That is very true. And with that, we will be concluding the tournament for the ROG Showdown Series. And thank you, Flater, for being my co-caster.
You too, man. It was always fun casting with you. We have a lot of history going back in the casting scene, and it was always a wonderful experience. Thank you to ROG Showdown series for giving us this opportunity. Thank you for all the players that came out and participated in this tournament over the weekends. And yeah, it was a pretty good day.
I do the dash, on my way to the bag, boy, you know I push the gas. Yeah, okay, my timing is critical. Then on my rhyming is pivotal. Homie, the dash is digital, gas residual. Fire and smoke like I'm needing a ritual. You bet my cash is on. I hit the gas, I'm gone. Riding my wave. I've been stuck in my zone. I'm gonna blast them all. Sliding on faith. I've been finding my ways. Grinding for days. I've been shining the hate. All of y'all wanted for praise. Stuck in a phase. Let it turn it a blaze. Yeah, homie, you don't want no race. Nah, better to stick to your place. Yeah, want it all, I gotta taste. You push on the pedal, now I gotta skate. Yeah, all I ever know. Put me on this throne. Pinnacle. Push my buttons and that motherfucker go. What you know, what you own. Push it and I zone. Sonic booms full of room. Run it till the tomb with my goons. Smell the fumes. Y'all know what it do with the crew when we coming through. Y'all know better move, make it fast. Ain't no second chance coming for your ass. Turn to ash, burning rubber now. Better push the gas like. I do the dash, on my way to the bag, boy, you know I push the gas.
I need a second to take a breath, to keep me guessing with what you said. You're in my head.